I often get questions about the possibility that American citizens will someday have to fight in the streets for freedom like our founding fathers did. Now, for years, I could not imagine armed revolution ever being justified in this nation because we had access to participate in our government with our votes and with our right to speak freely in the public forum. But today, I am sad to report that those freedoms are no longer secure. The massive voter fraud of the 2012 elections was shocking. And what was even more shocking was the silence from those who should have been crying foul. The elected officials who are charged with upholding the Constitution are ignoring a gigantic crime against the American voters. This should be the biggest criminal investigation in America. Thousands of people should be in handcuffs, and elections that were clearly fraudulent should be declared null and void by the courts. Millions of Americans were denied their constitutional right to participate in free and fair elections. This is a very dangerous game the left is playing. Stripping Americans of their right to vote is asking for a fight. We will not surrender our freedoms, especially the right for our votes to count in elections that affect our nation and our families. If elected officials will not do something, the citizens will. Thousands of absentee ballots of our overseas military were lost again. If anyone has the right to have their vote respected, it is the men and women in uniform. There is strong evidence that tens of thousands of illegal aliens voted in our elections. Talk about spitting in the face of American sovereignty. We may very well be on the road to American Revolution number 2. The first thing for us to do is to publicly challenge the elected officials who should be investigating. Congressmen, state legislators, governors, law enforcement agencies should all be challenged vigorously and answers demanded. In counties where evidence of fraud is strong, the district attorney should be forced to investigate and answer to the public. Write letters to editors, band together with other citizens, hire attorneys, and file suit to force officials to do their jobs. Don't let this massive crime be covered up by typical Washington, D.C. apathy. Most of all, Americans must not succumb to the temptation to give up in despair, to simply stop going to the voting booth at all. If we give up, then the criminals and enemies of freedom will win, and America will fall. What will American Revolution number 2 look like? I don't know. Polling places could see armed citizens standing guard. Politicians who take office through voter fraud could face armed citizens. Outraged citizens may target the left-wing media propaganda outlets. Well, here's a Wild Bill bullet of truth for elected officials. Voter fraud in American elections must be honestly investigated and proper actions taken against violators. Failure to do so will mean that America has taken a major step towards armed revolution. This is Wild Bill for America, hoping that day never comes. Meanwhile, God bless America again.